back. Okay. Alex C, back pocket. Okay.
Hey, boys. All right. Use your voice all day. Use your voice, okay? Swannaroos on three. 1, 2, 3. Swannaroos. Let's go, boys. 1, 2, 3, 3.
Strong in that order was fantastic.
North Carolina and Virginia border each other, and in so many ways in the sports lives over the past who knows how long have had some rivalries in sports. But today, one more rivalry will put things to the test, as the hometown North Carolina Tigers, coming into this game at 2-0, will try and take out a regional title, their first in 8 seasons. Standing in their way is the Virginia Lions, who are after their second straight regional. And all that's standing in the way is the Tigers and a bit of math. Good day, everyone. I'm Brian Barish. This is the 6th and final game of the day, and it pits the North Carolina Tigers and the Virginia Lions. The Tigers are a complete side taking on a Lions team that has had the help of the Bayou Brawlers and the Baton Rouge Tigers. The situation is this. If the Tigers win the game, they are the Southeast Region champions. Virginia still has a hope of doing it, but they have to win by at least 41 points. And we're not sure of the exact math, but every couple of points that the Tigers score, that target will go up by 1. But right now, if they were to keep the Tigers off the board completely, it would be 41 points that they would need in order to do it. They've come close earlier, but they're going to have to do it against arguably one of the best teams in this region. The Tigers are wearing the yellow with a black sash, and it looks like they'll be heading from left to right on your screen, while the Lions are wearing the maroon with the yellow. They'll be heading from right to left. This match will also determine, and we'll just tell you it's a very close race, but it will also determine who wins best and fairest. And depending on the result, it may also determine who wins the MVP award. The siren goes. The umpire is ready. So are we. We're underway here in the 6th and final game. Sending this one on, going down. Going after it is Will Mussack, one of the Bayou Brawlers out of New Orleans. Big tackle thrown in and picking up the ball and sending this one down the line. And going to get picked up by Hampton Bender. Bender on the left wing, from his perspective, lets his players get in front of him, puts the ball down, sending this one down the line, through the hands, and rolling over the boundary line and out of bounds. Now, last week in the game that decided the championship, which was the New York Magpies and the Philadelphia Hawks, the game was not close at all. In fact, the Magpies scored twice in the first 90 seconds of the game and went on to win by 10 goals, 69-9. We haven't had that sort of game just yet in this one. Sent in, it's marked. Doing well in the back there was the 27, which is Brian Patterson. Patterson comes out to the near side. Going after it was Mo Cruz. Mauricio Cruz sends that one goalward. And it's gone through for a behind, and there's the first score of the game. North Carolina, 1 behind, Virginia no score. As we mentioned, North Carolina last won a regional title. Now, they won it on their own. We'll say this. They've won it on their own in 2017, but they had several players, part of the D2 Super Regional winning team last season in Ohio, and they combined with DC. But this would be the first time as a flagship team that they've won. Virginia was a part of the Division III Super Regional Championship team a season ago with Chicago. Ball is up in the air, and the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in once again. Temperature has been in the 80s for most of the afternoon after being in the 70s in the morning. 87 degrees. Free kick. It was a deliberate out of bounds that was ruled. Able to get it out, and the mark was taken by Keith Phillips. Phillips, the Eastern Regional Vice President, done a fantastic job of putting together not one but two tournaments this year. Kick is up on the way. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. It lands in no man's land and diving after the ball. And that was definitely him diving for it. The ball goes over the boundary line. In fact, no, it was a McAvaney umpire has called out a push, and it'll be a free kick. Our umpires have done a magnificent job all day, as they always do. And I'm not just saying that because there's one in earshot. We mentioned umpire Tara Murray was out there with the GoPro to get some footage of the umpires. Kick is on the way, and it's dead center perfect, and the Tigers get the first sausage roll of the game. 4 minutes gone in this first half of the final game. North Carolina goes to 1-1-7 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Virginia no score. And we mentioned that in order for the Lions to perhaps come away with the trophy, they would need to win by 41 or more points, and every once in a while that target will go up if the Tigers score, so not looking great. And the other side of this is that if the Tigers end up winning by enough points, then that will push the Lions back into third as the ball comes down. Gonna go get this one. Big tackle put in there, and we'll have a ball up. In there was the 16 for North Carolina, which was Lester Powling. Meyer, who's done a fantastic job in the ruck against Zachary Lewis, will probably have his best test. Here is Meyer. Good kick into the forward line. Takes a nasty bounce, however, and McKenzie is able to get it out the back. Overcooked the handball, however. McCormick able to try to knock him down. He stays with the play, though. Big tackle, and he is G-O-N-E gone as he was able to chase down Michael McCall. Free kick. McCormick has played splendidly. Kicking this one in. Ball gets knocked down, cleared out now. And the mark taken by McCall once again. Mark. And this time it's Will Mussack. We were mentioned in the last game that he is Will Mussack the third as he finds a connection in Luke Becker. Becker turns around, and it's turned over as McKenzie takes the mark. Will Mussack, both his father and his grandfather has played on these fields, and his uncle Mickey is here, and he was telling me that he's played on these fields as well. So a little bit of a homecoming perhaps for Will Mussack, and doing it on a day when his Bayou Brawlers play in their first ever regional tournament. Of course, they'll be well represented at the Western Regional as well. Ball goes down. Going to get sent by Doden, sent on the way by Mo Cruz. Ball goes down. Ball goes over the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. The Tigers leading 22-6 here. Beginning of the day. By Maine fell to Maine 36-20. They work the ball forward, and there's the horn. Well, there's the first 20 minutes, and that's how much closer the Tigers are to winning another regional championship. Normally, when you're down 23 points, you don't want to waste that much time, but I think we're all just ready to go to the Hibernian afterwards as the ball is sent down the line. There's a hand pass. Good hand pass. Look, a fine Hampton Bender, which will recognize some of the best players over all 4 of these weekends. We have a couple already in the bag for the Northeast for the. It'll just milk some time away. I started to thank people. I thanked Jerry already. I want to thank Ryan, our camera operator, who's done an amazing to take the still photographs. Of course, Keith Phillips, who's out. Who's out there. He's the Eastern Regional Vice President. We thank Darren Green, who's the president of the Virginia Lions, also the USAFL board's member at large for really kind of keeping an eye on the stream and also